Oh, now I'm live? Can anybody hear me? Hell no. Neither of us can sing. Can you guys hear me by chance? Dog trying to break in the room. Can't be further than half an inch from me. Yes, you can hear me. Everything good? It says I'm broadcasting. All right, now I need to invite Yak Yak. How do I do that? Oh, let's try. Let's try. Guests can stream this to their destinations. Copy. Instructions for requests. Let's try Messenger. I hope you guys can't see my this page is not eligible. What in the world? Copy. What's that gonna do? Yak yak. Hi everyone. What does this little thing mean? Bill W. Is that a wrench? Brandon Mitchell. Are you guys paid members? How come you have a little thing by your name? Press harder, bro. What's up? What's up, people? Gary, hi. Patrick, what's up, everybody? You guys good? Hell no. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Armed Fisherman. All right. Now let's see if I can invite him specifically. Where'd it go? You were just there. Oh, there you are. Options. Put user in timeout. No. Star. I gave you a star. Okay. Dude, I'm just going to put this link in the description in this little chat room here. Thanks for everyone for coming. Hit the thumbs up if there even is one. Again, I'm not really sure how to use the StreamYard, but I'm just going to put this in the chat box and just join me. All right, Yak Yak. How are you, Scotty the Body? Are you Scotty the Body from the radio, or are you a different Scotty the Body? All right, Yak Yak. There's your link. Bill, why do you have a thing by your name? What does that mean? What does that mean? I sound like a damn boomer. I don't know how to use StreamYards. What is a StreamYard? My yard doesn't have a stream in it. Get off my lawn. I can't work this computer box in the interwebs. There he is. You ready? Yeah? Hey, don't be
Hold on.
at me sideways, bro.
Yeah, I got
Hello?
you, man.
Okay. Yak, yak.
Hey, what's up?
Let's see what this
Can you
is.
hear me?
Oh, there we go. You want our face big? You want our faces
Solo
small?
yak yak. So
Wait.
yak
Let's start at the beginning, man. Hold on. They want us to sing. Ready? Solo. Yak, 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 yak.
yak
Solo.
yak
Yak,
yak
yak, 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 yak,
yak
yak, yak. Solo. Yak,
yak yak.
yak, 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 yak,
Solo
yak,
yak.
yak. Solo. Yak.
Hold on. Gimme.
F. Chief Gandy and the Corrupt City Council. Scientology is a cult. The Armed Fisherman. See, you were asking me if I want to go mess with the Scientologists, and I had someone tell me that that's the one entity you should stay away from because they'll follow you around the globe, bro.
I implore them to come follow me around the globe.
How close do you live?
Come get
How,
it.
how
Come
close
get
do
you
you
some.
live to Clearwater?
About 3 hours.
Damn. All right, everybody. If you don't know this gentleman, his name is I could tell them your name, right? Michael Taylor.
Oh yeah, you got it, man.
Michael Taylor.
I'm a public
What's
figure.
funny about
Public figure.
what's funny about Michael Taylor, Soloyaker, the armed fisherman, is he'll tell the cops his first and last name, and then they'll look up Michael Taylor, and there'll be like 8,000 of them, right?
Yeah, there's like from from what I've done, there's about 500 Michael Taylors in the state of Florida.
Wow.
Just in the state of Florida. And
wow.
If you were to go to look up like warrants and stuff, you type in Michael Taylor and there's a whole list of them. I tell you right now.
So that's why they ask for your date of birth, right?
Yeah.
But so out of 500 Michael Taylors, you could still share the same date of birth with someone.
No, I could. I haven't met one yet, or haven't run across that, but they struggle finding out who I am because they have to go through a list of all the pictures, and there's 500 pictures they're going to go through that have licenses here in the state of Florida.
There's 500 what? Say again?
500 Michael Taylors, so there's 500 pictures. If they have an ID, there's 500 pictures that they have to go through to try to find my ugly mug.
Do pictures come up when they run your name?
I think it does when they run it through David, but once they find it through David, then they can find it through NCIC, FCIC, and all those other databases.
Can everyone hear us okay? How do I sound? All right? You good? You sound good? On your end, Yak Yak?
I can hear you, brother.
All right, so Michael Taylor, Soloyaker, the armed fisherman. He was Soloyaker because he would kayak by himself. That's where he got that name. I didn't learn that for like 3 years. And then his Soloyaker channel got, what did it get?
It got a strike that took away my money.
Okay, so it got demonetized like they did to me for like a year.
Yep.
They give you the option to reapply?
No,
Never?
I rechecked it like about a year ago and still nothing.
So that's when he started the Armed Fisherman channel, and it's taken off because what he does is ballsy to say the least. He straps on an AR and some type of sidearm, 9mm usually, right?
9 or 40.
9 or 40 cal, and he grabs his fishing rod and some bait, and he goes walking towards a place where he's going to fish. Well,
or crab. I love the crab trap. That's my favorite.
Or crab trap, which really throws off the cops because
no fishing.
They don't see a fishing rod, they lose their mind. If they see a gun, they lose. So again, the guys paid to protect your Second Amendment right are the most paranoid when someone has a gun, especially out in the open. And I went to one of his protests under John's Pass when he was put on the hot concrete and then locked in that little lock. See, I get so claustrophobic in that car, don't you? Well, you're a smaller guy than me, but
yeah, it still sucks.
Yeah,
they're not comfortable at all. Well, and especially when you're put at gunpoint too. The gunpoint is the part that I have problems with.
Right. It looked like you barely had any room. I don't even know how they would fit me in there. They would need a shoehorn and some Vaseline. But that was one instance at John's Pass. You're just fishing, and some cop comes and at gunpoint, put you on the concrete. They lock you in the back of the car while they conspire and couldn't figure out a way to bust you. Because I'm sure the only thing they were trying to do was figure out any way to ticket you, cite you, take you to jail, because that way them pointing guns at you is justified, which is never justified, especially if you don't have the gun in your hands. So you're basically doing exactly what the cops are doing. You're open carrying, which falls under the same statute, 790.25. And for fishermen, it's subsection what?
H.
And do you know the subsection for cops?
D. D is in David.
So under D, the cops can open carry, and under H, anyone going to and from hunting, fishing, or camping can open carry to and from such expedition. And he even had a court battle where, dude, see, there's so much you've done and so much great work. Again, you should have 5 million subscribers, in my opinion, because you're standing up for the most. It's got to be the most important, because without your Second Amendment, your first is useless, your fourth is useless. The Second Amendment gives the American people teeth to defend themselves, not only against attackers, muggers, home invaders, but the government themselves. And whoever says oh, no one could ever stand up to the government, blah, blah, blah. That's total BS.
We did it.
Unless they nuke everybody, the government doesn't stand a chance against the American gun owner because there's over 100 million of us, first of all. Secondly, if you ever seen the Chris Dorner story, the LAPD cop who went on a rampage, he locked down 3, 4, 5 states and had them spending millions and millions and millions of dollars trying to look for one guy.
One dude, one guy.
And all you guys that have the blue line stickers on your license plate, the blue line this, the blue line flag. I even saw a regular American flag with one stripe was blue on it. That's disgusting. All you people, if anything ever went down, those cops would disappear. They're not coming to help you. And I promise you, and I even know a guy during the Black Lives Matter protest who took his blue line flag out of his yard because he was worried. And that's my opinion what would happen if the S really hit the fan.
If you really think about it, who's the one coming to your doorstep when they say, I've always asked police, I'm like, hey, if you get an unconstitutional law to seize people's firearms, would you do it? And I've had officers say, well, if I'm given an order to do it, I'm going to do it. And those are the people that are coming to your doorstep. So everyone that's like, and I've seen the one where they have the blue line and then the don't tread on me all in the same motion.
That flag should implode like the submarine in the ocean.
Yeah.
It
absolutely.
contradicts itself. I've seen that too, a blue line sticker and then a don't tread on me on the other side of your truck. You're confused, bro.
Yep.
The government is the one that does the treading. Okay? Cops are the ones who tread on you. And they have endless power, endless monopoly on violence, and they have qualified immunity. And police unions and go ahead.
Immunity.
Qualified immunity. Harlow versus Fitzgerald. So one time he went to Clearwater Beach. You want to tell a story?
Yeah, I'll tell it, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I went down to Clearwater Beach. Started at one point. There's a lot of parking, but anyway, I parked at a spot, and I wanted to walk down the beach. I want to enjoy the scenery and talk to people because that's what I do. I want to talk to people and explain the law. Or if people want to fist pound me and say, hey, I love what you do, so be it. And that's what I did. And then all of a sudden, a lifeguard. I hate one of the big things I really don't like are lifeguards, park rangers, things of that nature because they have no authority. But anyway, for nutshell, lifeguard pulls up on me. I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk to you. Keep on walking. He calls into the police. The police come out. And this woman cop starts running after me, runs up and just grabs me by the arm and is like, hey, where are you going? Like, and I'm like, ma'am, what are you doing? And I'm like, she's like, oh, you're carrying a gun. I'm like, I know, I'm going fishing. And I'm like, there's a fishing pier probably about 70 yards away, 100 yards away from me. I'm like, I'm going to that fishing pier.
Pier 60, right?
Yep, Pier 60.
And before she said a word to you, she had her hand on your wrist.
Yeah, she just ran up and grabbed me, didn't say, hey, didn't even try to talk, just ran up and grabbed me.
And tell me she didn't put herself in danger, because if you were a psychopath, you running up and grabbing my wrist is like the dumbest move you could ever make. But go on.
If I wanted to hurt somebody, she would have been the first one to be hurt, but that's not my goal.
No.
We're going to put that
right now. We agree with this violence for self-defense, but go ahead.
So she grabs me. She's like, oh, I'm waiting for backup. Next thing you know, I got two detectives. They come out. Another one grabs me. I think his name's Detective Center or something like that, and Detective Kappa. And I'm sitting there talking. They're like, blah, blah, blah. You think it's smart walking around with the AR-15 around all these children and people? And I'm like, yes. Like,
what's not smart about it? Why do you open carry? Again, the hypocrisy is disgusting. Do you think it's safe when you walk around open carrying? Oh, that's right. You have a magical costume. Go ahead.
Costume and a little badge, and you get special permission.
Go ahead.
And so we go through that part, and I'm like, and the next thing you know, the next officer shows up. They put cuffs on me. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Then they start stripping me my gun, all this stuff. They throw me in the back of a car. And the stupid thing about that situation is I actually had a concealed weapon on me.
That
I
they
had
didn't find?
it was a SIG P938. It was no bigger than my hand, but it was stuffed in my pants, and they didn't see it. They were worried more about the AR, but they stuck me in the back of a car with a gun.
So you were still armed in the back of the police car?
Yeah. They have
Wow, that I didn't know. How long they have you in the back of the car that time?
About 30 to 40 minutes.
AC, no AC?
What's that?
Did they have the AC running at least?
Yeah.
Okay,
The
go
car
on.
was on. So I'm back in the back of the car, and they didn't take my phone. They didn't pat me down or anything. And I was able to reach in my pocket, and I actually called a lawyer, and I went live in the back of this police cruiser. And while I was on a live stream, somebody that knew my name called the police department and told them my name, and that's how they figured out who I was. And that's why after all this, they figured out, and they were like, "Oh, hey Mike, you ready?" And if you hear in the video, they're like, "Hey Mike, you ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I've been ready." And that's the only thing they did with my name was run it through a database to see if I was a felon. That was the only thing that they did.
But they don't even have the right to do that, right?
Nope. Florida versus JL, man.
Florida versus JL, that's the case law?
That's just one of them. There's a couple other ones, but the one that I always go to is the one from Florida. The guy was a felon. I think it was something about he had possession of a gun, but there was no probable cause to even search him or something to that effect. And
a firearm alone is not RES or PC to make a stop. Is that correct?
Nope, because it's a right. And long as I'm carrying it in the proper way, let's just say I'm a felon with a concealed weapons permit, and they don't know, they have no right to stop me if they think I have a gun. But if I say I jaywalk and they need to cite me, then they could have probable cause saying, all right, I'm citing you for X, but we think you have a firearm, and we do a Terry stop and we find the gun during a Terry stop, which I think Terry versus Ohio should get out of here too. But
of course, that needs abolished or repealed or whatever the terminology is.
Exactly. But if they find the firearm and then they have to go through the process of, you broke said law, and they need to cite you for it, and then they find out you're a felon with a firearm, then you're in trouble. But if there's no probable cause, no anything like that, then that's a whole different story.
So by the time you got out of the car in that video, you were hot, and you even pulled the old "okay, John Felix" style.
Yes, sir.
And you're telling them all to go F themselves, and they're just standing there like morons because that's what they are. Let's be honest. They operate on their feelings. The fact that cops don't know the gun laws in their own state is, I mean, I'm so tired of saying ridiculous, but
it's just like
beyond ridiculous.
It's mind-blowing.
Dude, you're talking about life or death now. You don't know if someone's allowed to open carry or not. And then you're going to pull the old, well, you think it's smart to be carrying a gun? Aren't you carrying a gun?
Okay.
Yeah. So
I think it's perfectly okay. And I say that for anybody. I'm like, long as you're not out there, long as you're being somewhat civil, you're not trying. I've had people cuss at me, yell at me, do this X, Y, and Z. And I've never tried to be aggressive towards them. I'm like, hey, calm down. I get you don't like it, but guess what? This is my right, just like it's your right to yell and scream at me. But just because I don't agree with how you're screaming at me, I'm not going to try to hurt you unless you try to get physical with me or if I fear for my life. And it's never happened yet. Knock on friggin' wood. But that's just a fact. Is that I've never been that aggressive towards somebody to the point where we've had a physical altercation. And I think they know better because obviously I'm carrying an AR and a handgun, and they don't want that smoke,
Right. So you know what I think their biggest fear is? That more people will do it.
Yeah.
And so if you got 10 people going fishing, all strapped with an AR-15 down Clearwater Beach, where it's super tourist area, that's exactly what they're trying to avoid. They don't want you to start a trend of people exercising their constitutional rights, because their whole mission is to violate your rights. And because if they can't violate your rights on a whim, They actually have to do police work and investigations and look for real probable cause and a real suspicion of an actual crime going on. Just walking in America, where you have the right to keep and bear arms, is the one of the biggest problems for police. They can't deal with it, and all this active shooter stuff. The more active shooters there are, the more mass shootings there are, the more reason Americans should carry guns.
Absolutely.
So,
And I've had numerous people like, oh, in this day and age, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, dude, if something ever were to happen, I would be the one taking out that person until you
yeah,
got there. I'm gonna
exactly.
be the first response. I'm like, granted, I think it's the stupidest law that I have to be fishing or hunting.
Yeah,
Obviously, if I'm hunting, I'm out in the woods. So if I was out camping or if I was out fishing in a rural area or a downtown area, that's the more reason why you should want it. Let's just say there's a fishing pond near a school. I could be the first responder to that if there's
right.
a fishing pond. And that's what I would say about this is like, hey, I could be seconds away when these cops could be 10 minutes away. You know?
Not only that, if an active shooter wants to try to go shoot up a school and he sees you standing there with the AR, that probably will deter him. They don't like the reason they go after schools is because it's a gun-free zone. It's a soft target.
Parkland. Remember, if you haven't heard about Scott Peterson, not the other Scott Peterson that did something to his wife, but or maybe possibly did something, but the one from Parkland, he just got free and clear of not protecting kids, and that was his sole purpose.
I
He's
was
a
just going to
school
say that.
resource officer. He was the first responder on premise.
Yeah, and he went and hid behind a concrete pillar for 45 minutes, even after it was all over. And
The kid friggin' got out of the
found
school
not
to
guilty.
McDonald's. The kid
What?
went to McDonald's and had food.
And he
And
was
I'm like, dude,
crying when he was crying. Oh, I got my life back. Those kids aren't going to get their life back,
nope.
dude. When you become a cop, you should understand that sometimes you might have to risk your life to save other people's lives. Am I wrong there?
You're not wrong. And they always claim it's all about, oh, we're here to serve and protect. We're here to serve and protect. Well, Warren versus District of Columbia and about 3 other case laws.
Castle Rock versus Gonzalez.
Yep. They
And
have
then some
no
Winnebago
obligation.
case or something.
Yep, and that's why Scott Peterson got off, is because of those case laws. It wasn't so much about what his defense team was doing. There was already precedent that he had no obligation to protect anybody.
I said that as soon as the shooting happened. I was saying he's going to get off because they don't have to protect anybody. It's all theater.
Uvalde,
Parkland. I could have swore there was one more too. Where the cops.
any of them, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's not going to matter. And even for you at your home, somebody could break into your house. I think that's Warren versus District of Columbia. Somebody broke into the woman's house, kidnapped the kid or did something with the kid, and then started raping the mother. Or sorry, I shouldn't have said that, but they started doing something with the mom. The
Sexual
SA word. And the cops did absolutely nothing, and that's where this case law comes from, is that the cop did absolutely nothing to help protect the kid and the mother, and she went to sue him, and the federal court said no, they don't. They have no obligation to do anything.
So what are they here for then?
To enforce or not enforce, to protect our constitutional rights and enforce laws that actually have a victim. If there's a victim behind a crime, you get robbed. That cop's job is to go after that criminal that robbed you or hurt you. But they have no obligation to protect you while it's being done. So if somebody comes in and starts shooting you, they don't have an obligation, but they have an obligation to try to find that person and hold them criminally liable for the crimes that they committed. That's it. You are your protection.
So anyway, so you went to a Clearwater City Council meeting lately? Is that what happened?
No, this is going back right around the Clearwater incident. So after the Clearwater incident, I got back, I made the video, put it up. It went semi-viral. It got like 200,000 in like a couple days. And then I called a Clearwater council member. I was like, hey, I want to put out a video. And they're like, oh, it has to be, less than 3 minutes, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. So I took that video, edited it, and brought it down into a 3-minute section and put all the case law, put all the statutes, all this. And I was able to put that up on the council member or the council meeting on record. And I've got the city attorney looking at it. I've got the city manager. I've got all these people watching it.
And it's on their screen right behind their head.
Right. And then I
was there
like,
another? Sorry. Was there another screen they were watching it on?
Yeah, on the screen, the monitors that they were looking at.
They each have a monitor?
They all have monitors in front of them. So they're all watching.
And then the big monitors for the people who are attending the meeting to see what you're talking about?
Correct.
Okay.
And so after that, before the video starts, I'm like, I talked to the I think the city manager. I'm like, hey, I just need 5 seconds to say one thing. And the video plays, and I'm what I say is like, every one of you on here is sworn oath to defend my right. I mean, I should have said our rights, but at the time, it's just I'm emotional. I'm like, hey, every one of you sworn oath to defend my right, and none of you, who's going to defend it? If none of y'all are going to defend my right now, who's going to? And then some bootlicker's like, your time's up, and I'm like, dude, if you want to suck their boot, you can suck their boot. I don't care. And then we've got Deputy Chief at the time, Deputy Chief Gandy, and that's who I'm going to protest here, and we'll talk about that in a second. But he was Deputy Chief Gandy, comes up and he puts his hands on me, and he's pushing me out, kicking me out of this public meeting. And I'm like, dude, I'm leaving. You don't have to put your hands on me. I'm like, you don't have to do this. I'm leaving. And, he's getting aggressive with me, and I'm like, what's your name? What's your badge number? What's your name? What's your badge number? Blah, blah, blah. We go through that whole process. And so we fast forward to today. And so one of my subscribers sends me an email stating that he's now becoming the chief of police. And
on the 31st, right?
On the 31st. And the weird thing is that there's a lot going on here. During that time, this is going back a couple years, he quit his job from the police department to be a trainer of aviation and the Marine of the city. So he's no longer really a police officer. He's training people on aviation and Marine or something like that. And so at this point, he's actually technically lost his pension. He's lost his pension, and he's lost his retirement through the police department.
Because he quit or what?
Because he went to a different agency or something to that effect. So then the police chief of the incident, he's going to retire, and he's going to become the assistant city manager. So he's quitting. The interim deputy chief at the time becomes the chief until they hire Chief Gandy, or the Gandy guy. But in that process, the city hall or the council members change an ordinance so that anybody that decides they want to get their job back in the police department can still keep their pension. They change an ordinance that they weren't allowed to keep their pension. If they left the job, they weren't allowed to keep it. But the council members changed that ordinance and then rehired Gandy to become the police chief. So now he gets his pension. He gets $166,000, almost $167,000, and he gets his pension.
His pension from his previous years and everything, right?
Yep, everything. And that's why I'm having a problem with this. Is that this guy's, and I'm sure it wasn't the first time he's put hands on somebody.
Of course not.
Me. So this guy's going to be the one training all his officers, or he's the one that's in control of these officers, and he's already out of control. No.
Hell to the no.
And that I agree with the hell to the no. Like, I don't agree with this. And that's why I'm coming back to Clearwater. there is going to be some other adventures going on after this council meeting. It starts at 1:30 on the 31st. So if anybody from the west coast of Florida or the east coast, the north, whatever, you want to come down,
So how long ago was that city council meeting where you went hands on?
At this point was almost a year and a half, 2 years ago.
And any other contact with Clearwater PD since then? Is it Clearwater or Clearwater Beach? Is there a difference?
I think it's all Clearwater, but I was on Clearwater Beach.
So they don't have their separate department or anything?
No.
So 2 years, and has anything happened between you and Clearwater since then?
Nope, because they obviously learned.
Now, when they stopped you on the beach and then that time at John's Pass, were you able to litigate any of that?
It's coming.
Oh, it's still in the works?
Right now, I'm actually working on trying to draft something, and I'm trying to get it done in the next week. And hopefully, if I can get it into the docket, and I can get the server, like the person that serves all the officers and whatnot,
Process server.
If I can get that done before the 31st, I would love to talk to him about it at the council meeting.
This council meeting on the 31st of this month, is it a council meeting at a library or something?
Yes, it's at a library. The chambers are inside the library.
Hold on one second. Thanks so much, dude. You didn't spell my name right, but that's all right. You give $20, you can call me whatever you want. I appreciate that very much, man. That's very nice of you. So the council meeting is at a library in Clearwater. Is it Clearwater Beach or Clearwater?
It's Clearwater. It's not on the island side. It's on the mainland,
so to speak.
Yeah, and it's literally blocks away from
Scientology.
Correct. And then there's a fishing pier as well within walking distance of that library.
What is? Oh, a fishing pier.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can see how much fun we're about to have.
So, and now since July 1st of this month, anyone who isn't a felon and is over what, 18 or 21?
21.
So anyone who's not a felon in Florida and 21 or older can conceal carry a gun now without a concealed carry license.
Correct.
Which is good. I mean, it should just be period. You can open carry, conceal carry, but whatever. It's still a step in the right direction.
Exactly. Going in the right direction.
I used to carry all the time. I let my concealed weapons license expire, but if I was going somewhere and the environment didn't look good, or when I was bar backing, I'll be damned if I'm not going to carry some type of something on me. And I'll tell the jury, sorry about your unconstitutional laws, but I'm not risking my life to stock beer and get this lady ice. Because we were in a bar, was like a horseshoe, and it just faced the front door. So anytime someone could walk right in the front door and start unloading. So, hell no. To the no.
Absolutely.
I'm going to carry something. Now, do you know the name of this library?
Give me 1 second.
So on the 31st, everybody, this guy's being sworn in. What's his name again? Gandy? Like the bridge?
Eric Gandy.
Eric Gandy, the guy who went hands-on with Soloyaker here at a city council meeting, retired, lost his pension. They brought him back on and passed an ordinance just so he can keep his pension. So he's going to cost the taxpayers probably $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month for the rest of his life. And now he's going to become the police chief on July 31st at the library.
Yeah.
Clearwater Library.
Yeah, it's I want to make sure I give you the right one.
Clearwater Main Library.
It is. Yep, that's the Clearwater Main Library at 100.
Yeah, North Osceola.
Yep.
So on the 31st, man, if you guys live, within a reasonable distance of Clearwater, the address is 100 North Osceola Avenue, Clearwater, Florida 33755. Someone could put that in the chat. Please come out. I'm gonna go unless something catastrophic happens, but I'm gonna go. I might not open carry, but I'm probably
I
gonna conceal carry at least since
I on the
I don't.
stage. Oh, just to let you know, inside the council meeting, there you by Florida law you can't do it. It's Florida laws just during inside the meeting. You can be outside the building, you can be inside the building itself, but to be in the meeting itself, there's a unconstitutional law that says you can't go in there. And I'm just throwing that out there just so everybody knows. Do what you do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying, I think they're going to be on high alert when I show up in my body armor. AR mags. I have plans on fishing. After that, I plan on going to the Scientology with my sign that, says Scientology is a cult. I plan on triggering
That
this
scares
town.
me more than the police, honestly. I don't know.
The Scientology people don't scare me.
No.
I've been to the Scientology place, and we stood out there. I believe it was me, Accurate Amanda, and a couple other people. And no cops came, but they also knew I was in town when all this happened. I think it was the same day that this meeting was going on, so they knew I was in town, and I'm sure they already know I'm coming. They just don't know how many people are coming. And I implore anybody, if you have the time, it's going to be fun. I promise you, the meeting is going to be a good time, but the fishing part, because we're probably just going to leave straight from the library and go straight to fishing, which is about a 3/4 mile walk to a fishing pier. And we'll walk right through the part of downtown right there in Clearwater.
Now, do you have to have a fishing license?
You do have to have a fishing license. And even without a fishing license, it's still only a citation. But for some reason, I've been told that they could arrest you. But I'm like, it's a citation without if I'm going fishing, I'm going fishing. If I have a fishing pole, I'm planning on fishing. Even if my fishing license is invalid, I'm still in the act of fishing. The law doesn't state that my fishing license has to be valid. I just have to be going fishing. If that
So
makes sense.
again, for people who haven't or just joining, I just lost it. Oh man, come back to me, Bobby. Damn it, 100 North Osceola Avenue. Is that right?
That's right.
So July 31st, it's a Monday at 1:30. I think we should get there a little early, obviously, so we can all get together, talk, meet up, meet everybody.
I plan on being there around 10:30, and I plan on sitting outside and from 10:30 until the meeting starts. I'm going to be very prevalent that I'm there, and I'm going to make it very uncomfortable for Mr. Gandy and everybody else.
So hopefully, I'd say about 11:30 at the latest. Let's all show up at this library, bring your signs or whatever. And we don't want no screaming and yelling, just nice, be nice about it. Carry your sign. Of course, if someone yells at you or whatever, just try to shrug them off. This is funny that I'm saying this stuff because I'm the first person to go nuts. But I'm trying a new approach, a nice guy approach. So if we can all show up and actually make an impact and show there's tens or 100, if we get 100 people, that would be amazing. But we could show them not everyone's in favor of this piece of garbage becoming police chief. Do they have oh yeah, they have Pinellas County Sheriff's there too.
Mm-hmm.
So yep. Do you think that they're going to restrict people from actually going in? It's happening indoors, right?
Cannot. It's a public meeting.
Indoors 100%. Though?
Yep. It's even though it's in a library, and I know everybody's like, oh, you can't do anything. It's not. No. Unfortunately, it's a public meeting, and their council member, the council board meets inside the library. It's right when you walk in, you walk straight ahead. Like if you actually watch the video, when they push me out the door, all I do is walk straight backwards, and I'm walking out the front door.
So that meeting you were at, was that the same library?
Yep.
Oh, so that's where the council meets all the time.
All the time. Every meeting they have is in the same spot.
Now, do you think they're going to have like bouncer style cops sitting there going, "Why you here?" or "What are you doing?" or "You can't record," or "We're not letting you in"?
They might, but it's your First Amendment right, and it's a public meeting. Just like they're recording it, you can record it. There's nothing going to stop them. I was live streaming. I was live streaming when they put their hands on me during the event or during that meeting that they were having. So there's no questions about being able to record it. I have reached out to a couple news agencies about this so far. I reached out to them late Friday when I found out about it, and I think that's when the video came out. So hopefully they reached back out to me about on Monday, Tuesday or something. But we still have, what's today, the 8th? So you have
8th.
So we have what, almost 21 days from today.
Something like that. We should do another live stream right before we're about to do it too, just to remind everybody and refresh it in everybody's head. But again, July 31st, around 11:30 in the morning, 100 North Osceola Avenue in Clearwater, the library. They're going to
swearing him in. They're swearing him in.
Swearing in Eric Gandy, Mr. Hands On, and his cops who are all hands on, and none of them know the laws, of course. What a shocker. They're going to be swearing him in. Let's go there. Let's protest. And then afterwards, let's all go fishing and shoot the shiitake mushrooms a little bit. And like I say, because you're also a chef too, right?
Yes, sir.
So I always use this analogy is the cops not knowing the law is like a chef not knowing his recipes.
Or not knowing how to cook French fries.
Right.
It's
or knowing what a French fry is.
Like, look, we're going to compare the carrying of the firearm as a French fry. They get to carry their French fry. They don't even know why they get to carry their French fry. I know how to do it.
They just think it's because they're magical costume.
Yep. I'm a cop.
How many times have I heard that? You're carrying. Well, I'm a cop. So what if you're a cop? That means you have a GED. That's what that means.
Yeah. I've seen the schools that they go to. Most of these schools that they go to get their training, and they're actually, I'd almost say I think your state colleges, your community colleges, are actually more reputable than a lot of these schools that they go to get their training.
All right, dude. So what else?
If you don't know, I'm giving away about $1,000 worth of a giveaway on my birthday. My birthday is on the 21st, and that's when I'm going to be talking about this again, is on the 21st of July. I'm giving away an Insta360 X3 worth about $500.
I want that. That's a 360 camera?
360 camera. I use the X2. If you haven't seen some of my videos that spin around, that's the X2. The X3 just gives you a little bigger screen. It's worth about $500. I'm giving away a Pinfisher 4500 rod and reel combo. That's worth about $220. And then I'm also giving away a Rise Armament trigger. It's about I think it's a 2-stage trigger.
What's that mean?
There's a little bit of wiggle at the beginning, which is about 1.5 pounds, and then the second half is about 3 pounds. So it's about a 4.5 pound trigger that drops in, and you just drop it into your AR, your lower of an AR, whether it's 300 blackout, 5.56, and you just drop it in, put the screws in, and that's worth about $200. And then all you have to do is send it to soloyaker100giveaway@gmail.com.
What are you sending to that email address?
You just got to send me an email, subscribe to my channel, like the video, share the video, and comment on a video.
Say the email address again.
Soloyaker, SOLOYAKER 100 giveaway @gmail.com. And then, like I said, just like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. That gets you entered into the contest. Send me one email. That's it. And then as we get close to my birthday, I send out everybody a random number. Everybody that's email me, you'll get a number. And then I go live. Instead of putting people's emails, I put the number. And if your number pops, you get you're going to be the winner. And 3 people are going to win. And I'm actually, Gary, I think I saw you in the chat. Gary donated I believe it's a 5.56, 7.5 inch upper. And I probably will give that away to maybe a possibly 4th or a huge supporter that's been, it could be possibly one of the channel memberships that I have that have been a huge supporter of it. I'm not sure how I'm going to give away that, but he is donating that to me as well. So there's going to be 4 prizes. And like I said, all you have to do is like, share, and subscribe and leave a comment. That's it.
I will, man.
Yeah, please do.
Just to wrap this up real nice. July 31st, the Clearwater City Council is swearing in Eric Gandy, the guy who went hands-on with Soloyaker at a council meeting because he took more than 5 seconds to make his comment. And 100 North Osceola Avenue in Clearwater is the library. July 31st. Show up between 11:30. We're going to attend the meeting. Then we're going to go fishing, armed fishing, I guess. And we'll have a good time, meet up, talk, do all that stuff, get some video. I would love to meet some of you subscribers. I'm sure a lot of people would love to meet Soloyaker.
I'd love to meet y'all.
And that's what we'll do, man. I'm about to go cook some ribs.
Even like I said, even like I've gone to some of these councilmen by myself sometimes, but I would love for anybody that has time, just even if you just want to come shake hands with me and Big Sexy over here. Hey boy, get my pronouns right. I'm an AR-15 with friggin' 5.56 and 2.23 is my friggin' pronouns.
My pronoun is amosexual.
Ah, well, that's a good one too.
All right, Yak. Thanks so much for coming on. Thanks to all the people that came on. Sorry I couldn't read all your comments. I tried to get them in there. Much love, everybody. See you July 31st, 100 North Osceola Parkway in Clearwater. It's the library. It's called the main library. City council meeting. Swear in a tyrant. Let's protest him. Let's go fishing. Let's meet up. Let's BS. Let's burn one. Let's do everything. And we'll see you later.
All right.
Thank
Peace.
you. Thank you, Yak.
Later, brother.
Thanks for the donations, too. Much love, everybody. John's Coin Rings. Peace and chicken grease. See you.
Yes, sir.
Bye, Yak.
Bye, brother.
Yes, end broadcast. That's why I clicked the end broadcast button.